Hey guys, I'm Jessie, and today I am going to be talking about all of the January 2022 releases that I am super excited about. I have about 7 books coming out in January that I'm really excited for. I know I did not do one of these videos for December, and I normally do one every single month, but honestly, there was like 1 or 2 books in December that I was like, yes, I need to talk about these. But honestly, like that wasn't even enough to like really make a video about. There just wasn't much coming out in December. So I decided to skip that month, and it was a crazy month anyways. So we're just gonna skip that, pretend it didn't happen, and then jump right into the 2022 fantasy book releases that I am very excited about. The first one is actually a sequel, and it is Bound by Firelight by Dana Swift. This is the sequel to Cast in Firelight, and if you want to see a full review of that first book, you can check it out on my channel as well as in my playlist for all of my spoiler-free book reviews. This is an Indian-inspired fantasy story. It is a YA. We've got, you know, arranged marriage, we've got magic, and we have a, you know, main character who is supposed to be marrying this prince that she doesn't really know. They've communicated by letters, but like she doesn't even open the letters, and she hates him. And he ends up kind of pretending to be someone else while she's also pretending to be someone else. They kind of fall for each other that way, and it's so good. I really enjoyed the first book. I'm really excited to see what happens in book 2 and after the events of the end of book 2, which were like, you know, kind of cliffhanger-y. I need to know, Miss Swift. So I'm really excited, and this book comes out on January 18th. The next one is The Helheim Princess, and this was written by Tiana Warner, and this comes out on January 4th. This is a Norse mythology-inspired fantasy, and if y'all have been around here, you know Norse mythology fantasy is very hit or miss for me. I either really love it or it's just not gonna hit for me. So I'm really hopeful after reading the synopsis for this that this is gonna be one of those Norse mythology hits, because for one, the cover is beautiful, and for two, it sounds really cool. It says it's a thrilling, intricate, and romantic own voices LGBTQ fantasy that builds on Norse mythology into a beautiful story all of its own. For as long as Sigrid could remember, she's wanted to become a mighty, fearless Valkyrie. But without a winged mare, she's merely a stable hand, left wondering who her parents were and why she's so different. So when the Eye shows her a vision where she's leading a Valkyrie charge on the legendary 8-legged horse Sleipnir, she grabs the possibility of this greater destiny with both hands, refusing to let go. Too bad the only one who can help her get there is Miriam, an enemy Valkyrie who begrudgingly agrees to lead her to Helheim, but who certainly can't be trusted, even if she does make Sigrid more than a little flustered. As they cross the 9 worlds, battling night elves, riding sea serpents, and hurtling into fire to learn the truth about Sigrid's birthright, an unexpected but powerful bond forms. As her feelings for Miriam deepen into something fiery and undeniable, fate has other plans for Sigrid. What happens when the one thing you were meant to do might end 9 worlds? Like, come on. Come on! That sounds so cool. We've got all kinds of magical creatures. We've got, you know, what sounds like a female-female romance. We've got enemies to lovers. Like, I'm here for it. We've probably got, like, some secret heir or something along those. I love, like, you know, find your birthright type stories. So that one's really excited. Again, that one comes out on January 4th. Then we have The Ivory Key by Akshaya Raman. This also comes out on January 4th. This is the first book in a duology, I believe, which I'm really into the duologies lately. Like, it's not quite a trilogy, but it's just they're easier to get through, and it's you feel accomplished because you finished a series. This one says, magic, a prized resource, is the only thing between peace and war. When magic runs out, 4 estranged royal siblings must find a new source before their country is swallowed by invading forces. the first in an Indian-inspired duology. Honestly, don't really need to know more. It sounds fantastic. And funny enough, 2 of the books on this list are Indian-inspired fantasies. So, I think I'm seeing a pattern here with my reading tastes. What do y'all think? The next one, also coming out on the 4th of January, real popular day, is Echoes and Empires. And this was written by Morgan Rhodes. This is the first book in a series, but it does not say whether it is a duology, trilogy, quartet, whatever. So, just that it's book 1. A snarky 17-year-old must team up with an enigmatic criminal to cure herself of dangerous forbidden magic in the first book of a new fantasy duology from Morgan Rhodes, the New York Times bestselling author of the Fallen Kingdom series. Okay, that answered question number 1. It will be a duology, and I'm a sucker for forbidden magic. That's all you gotta tell me. Forbidden magic? Yes. Please sign me up. That's all I really need to know. And for one, also, that cover. The cover is just super, super pretty. So, can't say no to that one. Okay, this one just sounded really cool. This is called The Bone Spindle, and it is by Leslie Vedder. Again, first book in a series. I don't think it says duology, trilogy, whatever, but this comes out on January 11th, and it is pitched as a Sleeping Beauty meets Indiana Jones fairy tale retelling, and it comps it to Sorcery of Thorns and All the Stars and Teeth, which, that sounds fantastic. I think it's also a female-female romance. It says, Fee is a bookish treasure hunter with a knack for ruins and riddles who definitely doesn't believe in true love. Shane is a tough-as-dirt girl warrior from the north who likes cracking skulls, pretty girls, and doing things her own way. Briar Rose is a prince under a sleeping curse who's been waiting 100 years for the kiss that will wake him. Okay, stop right there. The prince is Sleeping Beauty? That sounds super interesting, right? Like, I don't think I've ever seen one where it's like, Briar is the prince. So that just sounds super cool, right? Like, sounds really cool, and I'm really excited for this one. The next one is Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sulin Tan. And this comes out, I believe, on January 11th as well. And this is a captivating debut fantasy inspired by the legend of Shang-Yi, a Chinese moon goddess in which a young woman's quest to free her mother pits her against the most powerful in the immortal realm. Again, that cover has sold me. Like, it is stunning. And I've been very into, like, Asian and Chinese inspired fantasy lately. So this one really, really caught my attention, and I'm very excited to get to it. All right, and the final one is maybe the one I'm the most excited about for, like, really weirdly personal reasons. And that is In Every Generation by Kendar Blake. Y'all. This is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like, continuation fantasy book. What? Okay. I have a Sunnydale thing posted on my wall up there. I named my daughter after a character from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I am obviously a very large Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. So when I saw this, for one, when I saw the name, I was like, is this Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Then I read the synopsis and I'm like, oh yes, sign me up, pre-order, all the things, because this sounds fantastic. It says, a new Slayer for a new generation. Frankie Rosenberg is passionate about the environment, a sophomore at New Sunnydale High School, and the daughter of the most powerful witch in Sunnydale history. Her mom, Willow, is slowly teaching her magic on the condition she uses it to better the world. But Frankie's happily quiet life is upended when new girl Haley shows up with news that the annual Slayer convention has been the target of an attack, and all the Slayers, including Buffy, Faith, and Haley's older sister V, might be dead. And that means it's time for this generation's Slayer to be born. But being the first ever Slayer witch means learning how to wield a stake while trying to control her budding powers. With the help of Haley, a werewolf named Jake, and a hot but nerdy sage demon, Frankie must become the Slayer, prevent the Hellmouth from opening again, and find out what happened to her Aunt Buffy before she's next. What? Okay. As a massive Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, this hits every note. For one, Willow was always my favorite character. Might be obvious in the name that I chose for my daughter, but always been my favorite character. And the fact that we're bringing in the original characters and making it for a new generation, and yeah, that's all I need to know. I am so sold, pre-ordering, just making sure I get this one because I need it. And I really wish it would come out right now. Did I tell you when it comes out? It comes out the 25th of January. So I have to wait till the end of the month to get this one, but worth the wait. I'm hoping it's worth the wait. I'm very, very excited. All right. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this with me. Let me know what books that you're most excited about that come out in the month of January. All right. My name's Jessie, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.